All right, to the sports book now. Matt, which team do you like to cover the spread tonight? That Warriors Magic game has the largest one on the slate.
Well, I'll just stick to the game that we're already talking about. I like the Knicks +3, and there are a couple situations in the NBA this year where players that are generally considered to be pretty good and perhaps even the best players on their teams are not nearly as good as people think because they accumulate a lot of counting stats, but they're not very efficient. So we saw this the other night. Kyle Kuzma didn't play for the Wizards. The Lakers wound up favored in the game, and the Wizards won anyway. And I think Kuzma, when he plays, makes the team worse because he has the ball the whole game and he doesn't pass. Julius Randle maybe is not exactly the same because he does pass a little bit, but I do think the Knicks are better off without him. I think they have plenty of good players that just don't get the shots because Randle always has the ball, or he dribbles around for 21 seconds and they get it right at the end of the shot clock and their shot quality is worse. So not having Randle is not a big deal. This line was +1 this morning. Now it's +3. To me, that's just 2 free points that we're getting because Randle doesn't really matter. And now the Knicks are underdogs by 2 more than they would have been otherwise.
And the Hawks have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 6 road games. So, Nick, which team do you like to cover?
Yeah, I think Matt is on the right track there. Not only has Atlanta, riding that 6-game, ATS loss streak, but they're the worst team in the league against the spread on the road this season by a pretty good margin. They're 10-24 ATS in away games. So it's not like the Knicks have been a juggernaut covering at home either, but it's a pretty stark comparison when you look at Atlanta's home and road splits. I think the Julius Randle point stands. He's a guy who puts up a lot of counting stats, but ultimately he's been mostly healthy this year, and the Knicks are probably going to miss the playoffs. But they are, I think, 5 games back of this Atlanta team for that 10 spot in the East. I mean, again, chances are they're not going to catch them. Overwhelmingly unlikely. But if you're the Knicks and you're convincing yourself, hey, we still have a chance at this play-in, you absolutely have to win this game tonight. So maybe there's a little extra juice in the Garden for the Knicks. I'll trail Matt here and go Knicks +3 at home.